Hey, Saturday night, and a bit more development to do. I haven't made any progress since this afternoon, as I was working on a tutorial for the widget switcher, which is nearly complete. I've just got some video editing to do, so that should be up either later tonight or tomorrow. So, without further ado, let's have a look at what we've got at the moment. And this is looking good, but this is not looking good. So for some reason, our image in this particular picture is not looking good. Okay. Now, we of course have to make it look good. And for whatever reason, this is not sizing properly, right? But to be fair, we probably need to have a look at this, and this is the code that's basically given us our thing. Okay. And I am thinking here that we might want to do, so we've got GP items here, right? And we have our array of the different building types, right? So probably in this build buildings, we could add an input and we could say we can say building type, okay, and then building type, right? And then what we'll not do is that, but what we will do is this. Okay, we'll save that. We're going to try this out. And this is available. Right, and this is in the designer, so we don't want this. So just for a giggle, right, we could make this GP refiners. Okay. And then we can duplicate that and we can call it GP smelters. Now I'm just going to check this out to see what it does, okay? And then what we'll do is, if we go to the graph, okay, then we're going to do refiner, then we're going to duplicate that, and we're going to say smelter. Okay. And this ain't gonna work. Well, it is gonna work, but what we actually need to do is we need to switch. This isn't ideal, that's for sure. Right, now if it's a refiner, we do that, and we go to refiners, in fact this comes to here, and this goes to here, and then we duplicate this, and the smelters go to here, then to here, and then this goes into here. Okay, and let's save that. Oh, it doesn't like something there. Oh yeah, that goes to there. Right. So now we can try this out. Okay, we can close that for now. Stop this for now. And we basically add another one of these, and we basically say row, and that's an integer. We save that, then this goes in here, and then we say row 0, row 1, save that, and we try this. Our refiner's not working. Ah, wait a minute. Let's go back to our designer. This is a horizontal box, right? So in actual fact, we wrap this with a vertical box, then we basically drag these into here, then we delete that, right, so that's better. Delete that, stop that, save that. Okay, and we shall test this out again. So we're getting this, and it's setting it back. We're not getting our other thing. Right, so we need to go back into our code, and for some reason our call count is getting set back to 0, so we're going to delete that for now. Okay. So that seems okay. Might need to break into this and have a look at the code as we go. We're getting the smelter, but we're not getting the second one. Okay. So we need an add breakpoint here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag, well, I'm not going to do anything actually. I can drag this down a bit. It should never get to here. Okay. And that's row count and column count. Okay. So we're going to test this out. Have a look at how it looks. Right, so this is refiner. So if we resume that, and we resume that, and this should be in the smelter, and the row should be 1. So that should be 1, and the column should be 0. Ah, okay. Okay. So this isn't going to work like that. We're going to need a switch. Right. And then we're going to need that to go in there. That's the refiner. Then we basically duplicate that. This is just a test, guys, so don't worry about it getting messy here. So that goes there. And then this goes into the row. And then we set it to 2. Right, and we pull the value out of here and it goes in there. Then we can save that and press play. Go. That's going to be resume, resume, resume. And that still didn't work. Which is kind of bizarre. Actually, you know what? This is row 0. That's what the problem is. Both of these are row 0. So we can resume, resume, resume. It still didn't work. That's because I didn't change it. I didn't change this to blooming smelter. Ah. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So when we are building our thing, apparently we're not getting our text item. And it looks to me like this is wrong. These are wrong. So we can save that. Then we can jump in here and try this again. As I said, we're doing a bit of widget wrangling here. Right. So there we go. Okay. So that's all good. Right. And what we need to do here is get this and just basically wrap it with a canvas panel, I would say. Stop that, save it, press play, continue, hit our button, disable that, resume, disable that, resume, and there we go. But obviously we have to tell the canvas panel to size the content. Okay, I'm going to take it to there. That's looking better. But we need to add some spacing to these grids. Right now, I'm not 100% sure. There's the grid, right? That's a column fill rules. But there isn't really such a thing as padding for these, right? So the padding would have to come from here. And it would also have to come from here. And none of these really have a padding option. So the only thing I can think of here is if we wrap it with a canvas panel again, are we going to get some padding options? Apparently not. Okay. Then what we'll do is we'll wrap it with a border and the border gives us nice padding. So we're going to say 0, but then we're going to say padding to the right 100. Okay. And then our appearance is going to be that. And that should give us a bit of padding. So we're gradually getting there, don't worry, we'll get there. Okay, that's good. That's very good. We like. Now we need padding around this. Okay. So we don't have any padding there. We do have it here though. And what we can do is we can say 75. And that should do us actually. Right, so we'll save that. And we'll carry on. And our problem is now that the padding is screwing us over with our images. Okay. And actually we can put the padding there. Right, so we're going to put that back. And if we hit 75 here, let's see what that does. It's not moving the refiner, so this isn't moving at all. Right? And we can't really do that. So what we could do is we could wrap this with a border, and then our border can have some padding to it. Right, so we can say left 40 and right 40. And 0 and 0. And then we can basically make this transparent. Okay, that. Stop it, save it, and go again. But it looks like we've still got a padding somewhere on this. So we need to stop this for a minute. And we need to see where the weird padding is. And it looks like it's there. But that doesn't have any padding. Right, that's not got any. That's not got any. Ah, okay. We hit the wrong one there. Right, that should be more like it. And we're going to zero that out. That's going to be zeroed out. And then this is going to be zeroed out. That's fine. Okay. Better. Better. We do need to make either move this up a bit or make it smaller. Okay, so we are working at the moment. So you can stop that for now. And in between these two, right, we can add a spacer. Okay, where's the spacer about? It's in primitive, and that can go right in there. And we're on the Y, 25. Save that. Press play and go for it. Yep, that's looking nice. That's looking very nice indeed. Now we need to set these up as drag and drops. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stop it just now. What we're going to do is we're going to get the drag and drop to work. Then we'll worry about formatting it properly. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, I can't remember, it's available individual, and we go to the graph, and I'm pretty sure it's on override, on drag detected. Okay. And I can't remember exactly what we do here, but we'll just check it out anyway. So what we'll do is we'll look at our inventory. And it's our inventory item, I believe. Right. And yep, this is it here. So basically we copy this and we go back to our individual and we paste it. Okay, and this goes in here. And we basically create the drag drop image exactly the same as we did so basically what we do here is, wait a minute, we do hotbar individual and we duplicate that, then drag drop image. Okay, but with this we remove the text item. Okay, we go to the graph, we delete that, and then we just plug that straight in there. We save that. It doesn't like that for some reason. Oh yeah, I know why. and we basically say this one right, except we got the graph, but we remove this here. We compile it, then we refresh the nodes, and we need this image now, right? So we've got the image here. Right, now the thing is, we can pull our image from here. Okay. Right. So we can save that. And the next thing we need to do well, theoretically we can test this. Individual available. That's in the wrong place. Right, you'll notice that this doesn't actually do anything. Right, so this we shall cut that. Right, we can't delete that from there. Okay. So it's in here we do the drag drop thing. Okay. And this is where we're doing the individual available drag drop. And this is where we pull the image from. We don't need to name it when we drop this in. All we need is the image, right? So when we drag drop the image in, it should be fine. So when we run it right now, it should actually initiate a drag drop, right? So if I grab this, it's not doing it, which is awesome, obviously. Am I actually testing it? Right, so go to designer, image, visible, so it's ready for a drag drop. Self only, that's okay. Self only, that's alright. Hit test self only. Okay, so let's see if this initiates our drag drop then. Apparently not. Apparently not, which is awesome. Right, so we need to see if this is actually doing it. Right. Right, so it's not hitting this, okay? Whatever it is, it's not hitting it. Okay? Now, the easiest way to test this now is to get our hotbar category image, right? And basically wrap that in a button. Right? And then if we can click that button, we should be able to initiate the drag drop. Okay? So if we click on the button and add that, and then add a breakpoint, right? If this fires, then we've done something wrong with the drag drop. Okay. So we continue. If we can't fire this, well, we can. Okay. Now, I'm just wondering here, if we look at inventory item, when we initiate the drag drop, the question is, let's have a look here. Yep, that's okay. Right, so when we initiate the drag drop, the question is the inventory item a button or something that allows it to do that? And the answer to that is no. Right? Right, okay, that's fine. And this is on drag drop. And this is on double temporary item, right? So there's that. So that's fine. And it is on drag detected. Yeah. I don't know what that's all about. On visibility changed. Don't know what that's about. But this isn't firing. Okay, so I'm going to have to assume non-hit testable self only. Non-hit testable self. only. Alright, so that's okay. Self only is okay. Self only is okay. Well, that's interesting. And yet, this isn't doing what we want it to do. And it isn't even firing it. I wonder. Right, we'll check one more thing, right? Well, we're going to have to check it in here actually. So I'm going to have to assume it's this. Non-hit-testable self only. Non-hit-testable self only. Image. Visible. Self only. So that's okay. Alright. Well, this is weird. We're not getting a left clicky on drag droppy thing. Right. So if we go back to this, go to designer, right, we make this drag droppable. Let's see if it allows us to. And drag drop. Right. And we'll do that. Okay. And where are we? We're doing it here, right? So we'll paste that. This is a weird one of why this isn't drag and dropping. It's very strange indeed. So we're going to try and drag drop it off something else. Right. So we shall delete that. And we'll do that. And then we'll just pick an image, right? Bauxite will do. Doesn't matter what we actually get. The thing is whether it's going to drag drop, right? So we shall try this. And that's not drag and dropping either. we'll resume that. We'll stop that. And we'll delete this because we don't need it. Because we know that it fires. Okay, but for whatever unknown reason, these two different widgets are not firing drag drop. They just ain't. Okay. Have I missed something here? Nothing. Nothing. Right, that's bizarre, and I'll tell you why, right? Because if I do this, I can grab this and do that. Right? And these are set up in the exact same way. There's no difference to them at all. Right? There's no difference at all to what those are. Right? Because we can go to inventory and we can go to inventory main. Right? And this is our GP inventory. And not testable, self only. So it's exactly the same setup. So I am wondering if it's some weird Unreal Engine thing that I'm going to have to restart. I doubt it for this, but you never know. Right, so we're going to save all. We're going to try it one more time after I save all to see if that's maybe cleared up the compiler or something like that. But we're getting nothing. And we're getting nothing. Right? Now, I'm thinking that the issue might be that... No, it can't be, because you can click on that. Alright, okay. Well, I'm going to grab a quick cigarette. And while I'm grabbing a quick cigarette, if you'd like to like and subscribe, I shall be back in 2 minutes. And we'll work this one out, why the drag and drop isn't initiating. So I shall be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Alright guys, sorry about that. Got myself a drink as well while we're at it. Now, what is the problem with this drag and drop? I don't get it. This should be dragging and dropping. Well, the drag anyway. I've not set up the drop yet, but bizarre. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm only doing this because this is set up in the exact same way as all the others, right? But those aren't giving me a problem, but these ones are. And I've known Unreal Engine long enough to just do a cheeky little restart of the project. I'm not giving this high hopes that it's going to fix the problem, but let's just say I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, and I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. So we'll take a look at it either way. And I'll tell you what, not that I think this is the issue, right? So that's not doing it. And that's not doing it. So, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right, not that I think that this is the issue, right? But I just want to know. I just want to know. Okay. Right. So I'm going to stop that. And what we're going to do is see if it's actually grabbing a if it knows I am over this button. Okay? So I'm going to add another override. And I'm going to say on mouse button enter. Okay, and then I'm going to add a breakpoint, and then I'm going to save it. Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to move out the way. And it definitely fires. It definitely fires. Right, so we'll stop that. Then we're going to delete that. And what we're going to do here is we're going to check on this. What it actually does in the inventory item. Because the inventory item does actually do something. Right, there is on mouse button down I need to do that. Right, so that says drag event, right? So this is what I need to do here. So we copy that, right? And then we come to here and we do an override, and it's on mouse button down. And we do that, and our mouse point is, this is our pointer event, and we do that, right, and we delete that, right. I knew I was maybe missing something, and I was. So there we go, lovely, right? So that's fine. Okay, we can save that, but now what we want to do is, if we go to our drag detected, this is our individual draggy droppy imagey thing, right? We want to make this bigger, so we'll set that to 100 and 100. Okay, save that. And now we need to go to our hotbar. It's not actually our hotbar item. It is actually if we go to hotbar main, right, we'll actually see what this is. That's the blank. So it's going to have to be in here as well. So it's going to be, it's the individual button and the blank, right? So what we'll do is we'll go to here, then we'll go to your graph, then we'll go to function, and it's going to be on drop. Okay. And we've got a key index, I hope. We'll need to find out what that is. Right. So we're going to have to look at our trash can here just to see the basis of what we do here, just to remember exactly. Right, so this is it here on drop. Right, so we get the payload, which is going to give us the name. Right, so what we do here is we go to this, we get the payload, right, then we cast it to individual drag drop image, right, and we actually needed the text here. Okay, that's fine. That's all fine. Right. So we actually need the text here. Right. Or at least we need the variable. So item text, right, and we'll make it a string, and it's going to be instance editable expose on spawn, right, and we'll just set it when we come in. Okay, so when we do this, we refresh and we plug in our text. Okay, now once we've done that, we can basically pass it through the payload. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can go to our individual button and we're passing this drag drop image, but we are actually getting this text, and that's what the actual that's what the name of the building is that we're going to put in the hotbar, right? And that hotbar is in the controller. So we're going to say get player controller. This is going to go over here a bit. And this is going to go over here a bit. And then we're going to cast to FE controller, right? Now I'm not too sure, I may as well, right, we'll just promote this to a variable anyway, promote it to a local variable, right, and we'll just call it controller. Okay, maybe we won't. Controller. Apparently we've got a controller. Yeah, we've already got a controller, so we don't actually need to do that. Right, so we can delete that, and we can delete that, and we can plug this straight in. And now we can get the controller and we can say buildings, and it's get our blah blah blah. And the thing is here, we need the index of what we're dropping it into, right? So I'm hoping, well, first of all, we delete that out of the way. Right, we're going to get this, and then we're going to do that, and we're going to set array element. My brain suddenly decided to go awfully slow. Okay. And we pass that in there, and then we pass that in there. Okay. And then what we do is we controller. We get the well, we've got the controller here, but what we do is we update hotbars. Okay. So we can save that. Press play. And now what we should be able to do here is drag this into here, and nothing happens. Awesome. We shall need to see if this actually does anything. Apparently not. Okay. And that's just on drop. Okay. So our on drop isn't firing. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I know why that is. I think. Actually, no. I don't. So, I'm wondering, right, hotbar main, And this should be copy, and then we should be going on hotbar blank. Right? So the part where we fill in the blanks is what we want. Right? So fill the blanks. We do the same as this. Right? Right, there's a lot of mess there. None of it's filled in, of course. So we can basically get rid of the whole lot. But what we want is on drop. Now, the thing is that the on drop, if it's got an actual button, we need to actually do something about it, right? Because basically we need to swap them out. In fact, no, we don't. It's only if you drag one to the other. Right, which is, well, one could say it's an issue for another day, but we'll see how we go. I think I'm going to be happy if this works now. We can always plug that in there. And we don't do that, actually. Or rather we do. And it is to this drag drop image. Right, but we haven't got a key index. Right, but what do we have? I'm not 100% sure this is the right thing at all, but we'll try it. I need to get whatever happens here, I need to pass in which number it is, what index this one is. Right, so we'll add a breakpoint here, and that's way too high, so I'm going to have to drag this down out of the way. So we'll drag it out of the way. Right, so if we drag this into here and drop it, we get our drag drop. Right, so we've dropped it, which is cool. It's great. It's weird. And nothing happened, which is kind of what I thought. Right, we're going to add a breakpoint here. So it would appear it's failing here. Right? Which is a bit strange, but we'll do it again. So we've got our drag drop. Right, now we want to know what the payload is. So we'll step over, and our payload is a widget individual what? Step over, right, so it's failing the cast. So that suggests this is saying that it's available individual, right? Right, so we're going to say get text right, and this is going to plug in here. So this is all a bit weird. So if we drag it and drop it, it does this cast. So we step over, that's fine. Item count is 0, right? So that's utter bollocks. So we're going to stop that. Right, so we're going to drag that out of the way, we're going to drag that out of the way. We'll drag this out of the way. We'll break that up. We'll break that. Right, so our our problem here is we need to know what array item in the grid it is, right? So to find out, we come in here then right, it looks like this, except it's not. Right? So this gets the text, right? But this is the index. Okay? So what I'm going to do is for the individual blank, right? We're going to go to our designer and actually we're going to go to the graph, and none of these are really required, like the building name, etc. I'm just going to leave it for now. I mean, these are blank, so the building name is going to be nothing anyway, right? And I just deleted all the code. But what we actually need here is our index. And that's going to be an integer, and it's going to be instance editable, and it's going to be exposed on spawn. We're going to do our name, and we're not going to have an index editable, right? And also the class, we're not going to have that editable. We can actually delete all of these variables, but we can do that at a later date. So when we come in here, we basically refresh the nodes, right? And this can go in here. And we also need to do this for the other one as well, which is this one, right? Everything can stay the same for this one, but we are going to say our index. In fact, what we should do is we should just basically call it hotbar index, right? That makes a lot more sense, and it's a lot more easy to understand what it actually is, what array it's actually talking about. So I'm actually going to go in here, and I'm going to go to this, and I'm going to do the exact same. I'm going to call this hotbar index. Okay. So when we go into main, hotbar main, we're going to refresh this. And save it. And in our event graph on the normal one, where it creates our thing here, that's not what we wanted to do, but anyway, disable that breakpoint. See, I think this key index was correct, but the key index doesn't make any sense. We should really say hotbar index. Right? And what we want to do here is we need to look at our actual hotbar, right? And we just need to say building menu. So in here we don't update the hotbars. We just basically say well, actually, we just say building Okay. We need to get the reference to the hotbar, and then we just want to say building menu. Now this is going to have to change slightly because there's going to have to be one that does the connector menu as well. So if you select a connector menu, it's going to have to go to the selector menu. But fundamentally, this is still okay. Right? So we come into here, we drag it and drop it. Looking good so far. We step over, and I've not set that properly. Gordon Bennett. And it's doing it, yeah, it's doing it on them both basically. Well, this is blank. Right. So this is going to be hotbar index. Actually, you know what? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. I was getting a bit weird there. I thought OBS wasn't running, but then I just remembered I'm streaming, so it is running. Okay, whatever. Right. Refiner 2 into 5. Let's be having you. Step over. And the interesting thing is now, is it going to appear here? And the answer is no. Awesome. But what we can do, I hope we can anyway. Okay, I've not got it on here. So that's not so good. We're going to have to stop this. And this is building blank, right? I should have checked this was something as well. And then I should have checked that I could check it here. Right, okay, fine. Right. So this is a bit pernickety, but we're going to live with it for now. Right, so we've got this, and that's refiner 2. That's fine. I don't know why it's not shown as that, but anyway. So step over that. Now there's a couple of mistakes here, but we can sort them out. So what we're going to do is, well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to replace from space to nothing. It's going to go in there, right? and we're going to dismiss these two problems, and then we're going to open our player controller. Okay. And we are going well, we're not actually looking at that. Where's our two arrays? Here, they're here. So we're going to view this one. We're going to set that to view and that one to view. Okay. Then we're going to save that. We're going to run it again. We're going to go like that. We're going to click on our controller. Right, and here's the thing. So you can see in 4, it's nothing. Right? So if we drag this in to 4, right, we can step over, then we can check all our values. Hotbar index 4, correct. Our value is refiner 2, which is, I think, correct. Right? So if we step over this, this should change to refiner 2. And it doesn't. We haven't got the player controller. Well, that would explain it. Okay, whatever. Okay, so we're just going to get the player controller then. We'll tidy this all up in a minute or two. We can actually do it over here. Well, we're going to have to cast it, so we'd be as well doing it over here. So we cast to FE controller, right? So we'll drag that in there. We'll drag that in there. And then this can go in here. We save that. And then that can go to there. As I said, we can tidy this all up in a minute and see how it goes. Right. So, continue. Oh, drag this in. In you go. Resume. Click on our control. Oh, darn it. Step over. Resume. Bingo! Refiner 2. And there we go. Drag and drop onto the hotbar. Working a treat. Right? Now, what we can do is we can actually drag and drop. Okay, drag and drop it in the right place, please. And we can disable that, resume that, disable that, resume. And you can see that we can now drag any of the things onto a bar, and it works beautifully. How's about that? Awesome. So we can stop that. I'm going to run that because I'm not too sure if that actually saves. No, the actual hotbar doesn't save when it's like that, which is fine. Anyway guys, if you've enjoyed the stream, I'm going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe. And check out the description for my Discord, which you are welcome to join. And you can support the channel by also in the description by adding my previous Steam game onto your wish list. And if you want to support it financially, then you can buy the game or join the Patreon, in which case you will get your name on the credits of this game. And on tier 2 you get your name on a building and in the credits of the game. So thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, if indeed it still is night for you, and I shall see you all tomorrow at 2 PM. Bye bye for now.